Yeah, let's talk about the Muppet Show. It's on Disney Plus now. You can watch it. Um, Look, my love of the Muppets came when I was 9 years old, and the Muppet Show was on syndication, and it was right before 60 Minutes, so it was kind of the thing my dad let me watch, and then it would lead into 60 Minutes. And look, of my memories of being 9 years old, the TV shows I've watched, the Muppet Show is the only one I have crystal clear memories of. And this made me the Muppet fan. I loved the Muppet movie. I thought it was great to see Kermit on a bike. I was full in as a child. And then there are other iterations of the Muppet Show that came after the death of Jim Henson. The first one was on ABC, where they got a catfish to play Kermit, basically. And then you had the Office style Muppet one that was awful. So, obviously, when news came of this show, there is skepticism. One is because Seth Rogen is behind it. And here's what I feel like happened. Seth Rogen says, hey, I think I can do the Muppet Show. And they say, oh, go ahead and do it. And then he realized, well, how am I going to do the Muppet Show? And then someone said to him, why don't you go watch the original series and do that? And lo and behold, that's what Seth Rogen did. The Muppet Show is essentially the original series. This episode stars Sabrina Carpenter. I'm not supposed to reveal what happens, but it's fairly basic in the sense of, there are these skits. It takes place behind the scenes at the Muppet Show Theater. They go out there. It's a variety show, so they perform. Sabrina performs a song. It's like a music video with Muppets. She does one of her songs, and then later on in the show, she does a classic, which in this case was Islands in the Stream. And I swear I kind of choked up listening to Kermit and Sabrina sing Islands in the Stream. Yeah. It's funny that Seth Rogen's picture is in this because he's barely in the show. He is the executive producer, and he's there for a gag, which is a very Muppet thing to do. Look, there's only one episode. And so I will say this one episode that I saw is an exact reminder of what the original Muppet Show was. It's modern. I think there's some things that they add. For example, the original Muppet Show was a 3-camera show. In here, I think it's a 1-camera. So you're getting angles of the stage that you wouldn't necessarily have gotten in the original series. Also, there are people in the audience, like Maya Rudolph. And they do show full body Muppets at times. So you'll see Kermit and his legs. But other than that, the jokes, I mean, it's almost as if they got the writers from the original series and wrote these silly dad jokes that border on silly and corny. Look, if there are more coming, no, there wasn't any Pigs in Space or Muppet Labs, but I would hope that's something that's coming down the line. And then I think, I'll just say the ending was satisfying in the sense of, yeah, this is the Muppet Show. And so highly recommend this one episode of the Muppet Show.
That's the thing. I'm not going to sub to Disney Plus for one episode of a show.
Like, it's on ABC.
It's on ABC?
Yeah. See on the poster.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'll DVR it or whatever. How do you record? I used to use the term I'll TiVo that. I don't have a TiVo.
Yeah.
I saved it.
Let me just say, again, I have vivid memories of this movie and of the show. And this show came out, VCRs were not a thing, would not be a thing for 5 years. And so that's how much the Muppets meant to me as a kid.
I love the Muppets, Pigs in Space, the celebrity guests like Mark Hamill, like the sort of breaking the fourth wall or seeing the behind the scenes of the show in the show where you see them trying to put on the show it was so much smarter than it needed to be. It was of all the variety show genre kind of died in the mid 70s. The Muppet Show took the mantle and did the best variety show of all time. The Muppet Show did it back then. So I'm going to see it one way or another. And I'm really happy to hear this.
Yeah. I will say the Kermit's voice sucks. Kermit is voiced by the guy who did him as Constantine in Muppets Most Wanted. It wasn't the original. It's noticeable in terms of, oh, that's not Kermit's voice, but other than that, and again, the celebrities. I remember the original Muppet shows: Gene Kelly, Alice Cooper. You even had Steve Martin, who I'd never heard of, who was a stand-up comedian.
Steve Martin, comedian,
did an episode of the Muppet Show.
Wow.
And it was his was it Get Crazy?
I remember that.
The whole banjo and the arrow through the head. That's Steve Martin who was on the show.
That's great. I will check it out.